Welcome to week 1. There is literally lots to do this week, so get started early. You have 2 discussion posts due, 2, by Thursday at midnight, and this is the only week that will happen. Your meet and greet assignment must be posted, as well as your response to the first week's discussion prompt. And then, of course, you know the drill. Respond to at least 2 peers with a healthy, substantive post by Sunday at midnight. There is a rubric for discussion posts, and you should definitely read it. We will go into my expectations in a moment. You will also be reading chapters 1 and 2 of the Tozer and Sinise text, School and Society. I think this is an amazing read. Don't try to save time by skipping the first chapter, thinking it's an introduction, because the entire analytic framework is explained there, which forms the foundation for this course. Consider this quote from page 5. Teachers typically accept the notion that a major goal of teaching is to prepare citizens for life in a democratic society. Yet college students preparing to teach are rarely given an opportunity to engage in a sustained study of what life in a democratic society really means, or how to go about educating students for participation in such a society. Are you starting to see the relevance of this course to life in 2017? Chapter 1 will take you through the 6 tools of inquiry and the complex and interconnected relationships of these 3 elements of a society. Its political economy, its ideology, and its schooling. You will need to understand this analytic framework as you move into Chapter 2, where this framework gets applied to the Jeffersonian ideal of education. Chapter 2 is your background for Assignment 2, also due Sunday at midnight. More on that in a moment. Another great quote. In fact, I admit to posting this one on Facebook after I read it. The growth of a great democracy cannot be watered down by the runoff of social exploitation and exclusion. Page 25. This is the crux of the discussion on Jefferson. The authors ask you to wrestle with the conflict between Jefferson's ideals of education for the common man. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal, and his apparent racism and sexism. How do we reconcile these 2 ideals? Apply the framework and see what you can discover. There are many things to reflect on about the Jeffersonian era. On page 44, just before the primary sources begin, there is a wonderful list of questions to provide deep analysis for your paper. Assignment 2 asks you to write a 2-page paper identifying the social influences that apparently influence the purpose of schools during the Jeffersonian era. This assignment is worth 15 points, 3 points for each element described in the syllabus. Don't worry if you have to exceed the page length. Honestly, I don't know how I would fit all this in 2 pages, but do try to be succinct and include all of the elements. The paper needs to be APA formatted with a reference page that cites a minimum of 2 references. You may use the textbook as one of your references. I personally also like the use of headings to delineate each section. That's a personal preference, but for me, it makes it easier for me to read your paper and make sure that I'm finding all the elements, and I really think it makes it easier for you to outline your paper. My expectations for all of your assignments, including your papers, discussion posts, and group assignments, can be summed up in 3 main points. 1. Evidence of the course readings in addition to scholarly references that you have found and read. 2. Original thought and analysis, your voice and critical thinking in relation to and in reflection of the course materials when asked for. And 3. Scholarly writing and correct APA formatting, especially with respect to the in-text citations. When in doubt, look it up. This should be master's level work and your best work. Remember, text, email, or call me if you have any questions about this week's content or work or what's due, or if you're having any issues at all. I want to get started out on the right path for this course. Have a great week, and I'll see you on the discussion boards.